My Vikings! We had a good time a while back when we watched this dude. Alifilmworx. Alifilmworx. There we are. He made something freaking awesome in Unreal Engine. He remade the first scene in God of War. The original God of War. Well, it's now been around, is it 8 or 9 months? He's back and he made something more. Because Sony, I don't know what the hell they're doing if they have their head up their ass or are blindfolded or don't want to watch any forums or whatever they do. Reddit, I don't know. Reddit is forum, but either way, what? I mean, remake God of War. The first one for the 20th century. What the fuck? For the 20th anniversary. I mean, hey, what a great selling point. So let's watch this second part. I made a God of War remake again. Because Sony didn't listen. Hell yeah, brother. Let's take a look.
I am so disappointed. I was at least expecting a remaster for the 20th anniversary, and all we get is this piece.
What did I say? Yeah! Yeah! Right on it! Right on it! What did I tell ya? What did I tell ya? Huh? Yeah! The remake! God of War! For the 20th anniversary.
No! Let's not! Let us have a custom PlayStation 5 controller!
What?
Sony, you're not even listening, are you? Forget about it. I'm gonna do it myself. And this time, we're gonna have a brand new Kratos design. Undead Legionaries, the GNC, and the Hydra. Just wait, Sony. This is gonna be everything you never gave us. I'm gonna start with the brand new Kratos design, since the previous one didn't get much love. For the new design, just imagine Kratos from God of War 3 having a baby with Kratos from God of War Valhalla. Wait, I took the negative comments seriously and decided to fix all the issues we had with the previous design, like its weird looking mouth. Fixed. You think he was so skinny? Fixed. Doesn't have 6-pack abs. Fixed. Why does he have 4 toes? Those are not 4 toes, you idiot. The pink is covered by the sandals. I even changed the tattoo and made it much meaner, much stronger, much Kratos.
Ooh.
Alright, let's make the Blades of Chaos.
It looks a little too buff, huh?
Nothing too fancy, just added a reference, shaped the plane to match the image, added some thickness, modeled the handle, and tried to make a basic
Hold on,
shape.
what the hell did it say? No problem, hold on.
Alright, let's make the Blades of Chaos. Nothing too fancy, just added a reference,
Nothing
shaped
too
the plane
fancy,
to
okay.
match the image, added some thickness, modeled the handle, and tried to make a basic shape. I added some resolution and started sculpting the detail, then imported it into Substance Painter and textured it to perfection. But check this out, I added an emission texture to the blades, so they can glow like hit it middle. Thought it would be cool, right? Time to work on the Undead Legionaries.
Oh, yeah.
While playing God of War Valhalla, I noticed the undead didn't quite feel right. They looked a bit too clean and muscular, like some gym dudes painted gray. Let me show you how I do. I downloaded this zombie model from Midsummer, which was perfect for what I had in mind.
Yes.
It's not cheating, I'm just borrowing it. I imported him into Blender, sculpted his face, removed his...
Fucking hell, this dude, this is his... Oh, I just noticed. So, this is the dude's second video, huh? He's now at, hold on, he's now at 187 subs. He was below 100. I don't remember how much, but it was way under 100 subs when he uploaded his video. Like, of course, it was like, fuck, it was, but when we watched it, it wasn't much. How many? Like 1.5k or something. Like, fuck. This dude is a legend. Damn. He's doing what Sony should have done long time ago. no!
And started modeling a Greek armor using parts of its own body. Here I wasn't trying to recreate the undead exactly like the game. Their design was a bit too simple, so I pushed it further and added more details to make it feel even more realistic. Then again started texturing them using Substance Painter. I gave the metallic parts this bumpy texture so it looks handmade, and changed the color of the skin to a darker greenish color, because dead people are green. Don't ask me how I know that. I painted some blood on his face and body, and even made the eye sockets a bit darker. Of course I didn't forget the hair on top of the helmet. Oh my god, it looks so cool already.
Yeah.
If you take a look at the undead in Valhalla, you can see they have fully glowing red eyes.
Hold on, is that how they look? Is that how they look? Santa Monica, what?
Which kinda makes them look, let's say, less interesting. Let me show you how to make it interesting. First, you make the eyes completely hollow and have only the iris glow. And if you're going for extra creepiness, let only the pupils glow and switch the colors from red to white. And we're done! I took inspiration from this Reddit user who did the same with a FNAF poster. And finally, he looks dead. You can even feel the smell. And they smell like shit. Which is great. I made 7 different unique variations of them so they don't feel
way better.
copy-pasted. This is called respecting.
I love that shit. Hell yeah.
This is called respecting the audience, folks. I spent the rest of the week rigging every single one of them, because without rigs, they can't move at all. Now, the zombies are able to move. You know what else can move? A tank. Because this video is sponsored by War Thunder, the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made. Even the undead play it. And they've got no money, because this game is completely free. Take command of over 2,500 planes, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1920s all the way to modern day. War Thunder has one of the most sophisticated damage models in gaming, and with X-ray view, which is my personal favorite, you see how exactly a shell pierces through an armor and destroys the vehicle. It's super satisfying. And the best part, now you can play War Thunder anywhere, because now it's available on mobile.
I mean, what the fuck, this dude, huh? I mean, shit, that's how you incorporate sponsorship. That's how you do it.
In the intense combat of War Thunder.
Speaking of, this stream is sponsored by Oreo. Kidding! Kidding!
Where detailed vehicles, realistic graphics, and authentic sound design
I do love Oreo, though.
At the help of the most powerful war machines of our time. Play War Thunder today for free. Available on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and now mobile. Download the game using my links pinned in the comments. If you're new or haven't played for 6 months, you'll also score a massive USA bonus pack with premium vehicles, 100k silver lions, 7 days of premium accounts, and even more. Available for a limited time for console and PC players only. Alright, let's work on our environment. Stick around, because next up we're bringing the Hydra to life. Thankfully, my buddy Viniesh hooked me up with the 3D model of the ship from the first level, which saved me days of work. Thank you, Viniesh! I imported the ship into Blender, added some resolution, and changed the textures with a high-quality wood texture. I layered dirt and details on top, and made the surface look a bit wet. Then filled it with all kind of trash, like broken woods, ropes, fishing nets, you know, all messy stuff. And of course I didn't forget to paint the eyes in front of the ship. Greek ships had those for some reason. And check this out, it looks sick! For the environment I scattered some rocks and stones I found online, and tried to make it close to the original. I kept the original game open on my second monitor to use as a reference. To create the ocean, I added a plane and applied an ocean modifier on it. Then animated the displacement to simulate ocean waves. And
holy shit! What a legend! I mean, huh? Sony, are you slacking?
created a translucent watery material for it. Pretty simple, but works like a charm. I then threw in some PNG images of broken ships in the distance to give it some sense of chaos. For the sky, I just used the video footage in the background, no big deal. And it looked fine until the camera moved. So I went back to the original game to see how they did it. And turns out, they used animated cloud textures on a sky dome. So I tried doing that by adding a sphere, slicing it in half and throwing some cloud textures. I animated the clouds to move and even layered some more clouds on top of it for extra drama. And it actually worked. I wasn't so confident about it in the beginning, but it turned out really well. For lighting the scene, I used the sunlight and applied an HDRI and it looked amazing. Until I changed the camera angle and suddenly everything looked flat. You know, here's the tricky part. Just because something looks cool and cinematic from one angle doesn't necessarily mean it looks cool and cinematic from other angles as well. But I have an idea. If I make the lights track the object and parented them to the camera, that way no matter where the camera moves, the lighting always follows. And I can't believe it actually works! You can see the differences before and after using this technique. It even applies on our environment. Honestly, I wasn't expecting it to be so good. Did I just invented a new way of lighting?
Holy fuck!
Definitely deserve an Oscar for this now. Next up comes something pretty cool. Remember this hatch on top of the ship where the undead trying to break through? For my version, I made the chains move naturally with the hatch and added one of the undead underneath, as if he's stuck there and can't break free. Poor guy. If you look at the original game, you can see the waves hitting the ship and splashing everywhere. So I created that using water simulation. Oh my god, it looks so realistic.
Oh,
I even added some
fucking hell. I mean, our remake could be so good. Santa Monica, just put your game, like your next game, your sci-fi game or whatever it is, on hold and start doing a remake of God of War. The God of War is good either way, but I mean, to get it in the form of a remake with today's graphics would be so good.
Ropes and cloth moving with the wind to make the scene more stormy and dynamic, and with that, our environment is finished. Alright. Now comes the moment I've been the most excited about. The Hydra! Stick around because the way I built this beast will blow your mind. I extracted the 3D model from the game. Wait, I'm not stealing, I'm just borrowing it. Yeah, so I added some resolutions, sculpted some scales and details until it looked okay. After finishing the details, I imported it into Substance Painter and gave it a basic brownish green color. I gave it a rough scaly skin to make it feel like a giant snakefish, and also painted a reptilian diamond-shaped pattern on its back, like you can see in poisonous snakes. I didn't like the original teeth, so I removed them and replaced them with even better looking ones. And even added some terrifying eyes. I also didn't like ears, so I changed them with a fishy fin-like ears. Oh my god, this is so cool.
This man... Oh, damn!
I also decided to give him an extra eyelid, which you can see in reptiles. I thought it would be cool to include that also. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hydra! Now the Hydra is ready and everything's set. It's finally time to make the shots and bring it all together. Because trust me, the Hydra is nothing compared to what you're about to see. The first shot we're going to make...
he makes it so epic. I'm so ready to see it all. Show me, buddy, or I have to go off stream and jack the fuck off. Hey, Max. Welcome.
Is the iconic opening where Kratos faces the undead. So I dropped Kratos in the scene and animated him taking a few steps forward before grabbing his blades. And here's the tricky part. You can't just make a character grab something in 3D. Doesn't work like that. Instead, we make two duplicates of the object. One on the ground, one parented to his hand. And when he grabs it, the sword on his hand appears, and at the same time the one on the ground disappears, giving the perfect illusion that he's picking it up. In our case, works perfectly. In my previous video, a lot of you didn't like how Kratos' face moved. Some of you said it was janky, weird, or even garbage. So this time I spent way more effort and even gave him facial wrinkles to make it even more believable and layered tons of animation on top. And after a lot of effort, here's what I got.
Subscribe!
Nah, I'm just kidding, here's how it really looks.
Foul beast! I will send you back!
Then I ran into a familiar problem when animating Kratos. His shoulders look weird as fuck. You guys actually pointed that a lot in my previous video, saying stuff like, his shoulders look off, Kratos is disabled. Some of you even said he has fucking boobs. The easiest way to fix this mess is by using shape keys. What it basically does, you go to the frame where the shoulders start looking weird and fix them manually by using sculpting techniques. Now you can see the shoulders are moving naturally. And with that, our first shot is finished. For the next shot, I'm going to remake this scene.
He's waiting to show it all at the end. He's waiting. Fuck. He knows the perfect video editing technique. Getting to get people to watch the whole ass thing. Perfect.
But for my version, I wanted to introduce the undead one by one. So the camera slowly pans from left to right until finally the last one roars at the camera. This idea was inspired by this amazing shot from God of War 3. I don't always hand animate my characters manually. This way it will take forever. Sometimes I download free animations online and tweak them until they look exactly how I want it. And here you can see the results before and after editing the animation. Since it's raining in our scene, I tried to make the skins look a bit wet. And even added some droplets on the helmets using simulation nodes. I also made the hair react to motion and wind so it looks way cooler, and even made their glowing eyes flicker slightly, giving them a creepy, possessed vibe. And with that, shot 2 is finished.
Ah, shit. Ah. Ah. Ah, I'll be back. Fuck me. Ollie! Ollie! Ah, just. Ah. 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 Oh. Camera was on. Mic was on.
For shot 3, the original idea was super short. The zombies show up, a small Hydra pops up in each one of them, then Kratos feels something behind him, he turns around, there's the giant Hydra, and that's it. But honestly, giving my audience that after they...
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
No, that would have been...
That's for one video! One video! Huh? Ah, that is epic!
disrespectful. So I decided to change the plan and go all out. Fights, chaos, adrenaline, blood. I started with a rough animation of Kratos' iconic fight, then polished it and filled in between the frames until it looked epic. Next up, the animation of the blades. It was really simple actually. I just added a curve, turned it into a chain, attached the tip to the bottom of the blade, and the end of it to Kratos' hand. Works like a charm. Here's how it looks in action. For the Undead, I went with something called modular animation. Basically, I made several animation layers like walking, running, attacking, dying, you name it. It's the same approach game engines use. The way it works is pretty simple. Whenever the timeline hits one of the animation layers, that animation kicks in. And here's how it looks in action. I even decided to add constraints to head bones and selected Kratos as their target. That way, they always look at him wherever he goes.
Ooh. What the fuck? I love this. Oh shit. Who is this guy? What is that video that gave him the award? Basically, fucking up. This is the second time he's remaking a scene from God of War. He was remaking the first scene in God of War, and he did great numbers. Fuck, his first video popped up at fucking 100k. He's nearing 200k subs for one video. This helped. This came out like 3 weeks ago, so it's been about 9 months since the last video. So I mean, it's like it's fucking epic.
It's a fun little effect I just figured out. Alright, time to add some cool effects. First up, I decided to make the blades heat up whenever Kratos releases them. I also made a smart shader that makes the chains heat up the closer they get to the blades.
Oh,
it makes
yeah,
it
that's
way
epic.
cooler that way. If you played the original game, you'll probably know that the blades always leave a fiery trail behind them. I found this amazing tutorial by Cartesian Caramel that shows you how to make a similar effect using geometry nodes. And it was okay, but I added my own twist to it and made it look like fire with some embers behind it. Alright boys, things are about to get violent because we're making blood. I tried full simulations at first and that was too heavy for my machine, but I had some tricks up my sleeve. I made a single liquid splash simulation and reused it every time one of the undead gets damaged. It looks pretty convincing to me. To make a realistic blood material, we need to turn down the roughness all the way to 0, then crank up the subsurface scattering. Now it looks like milk coming out of his nipple. But when you change the colors to deep red, boom! You've got yourself some realistic blood. I also got a cool idea when I was playing Devil May Cry 5 a while ago. You know how when you hit the demons with a sword, it leaves a burning mark on them like a wound. I thought that was awesome, so I tried doing the same thing in Blender using physics, and it turned out better than I expected. And I couldn't help myself, it was so fun. I spent hours messing around with it. And here comes the moment of me dying.
Yes, this is my kind of guy. Hell yeah. Put it in the ass.
To show you. Remember in the original God of War, the enemies vanished when we killed them? Yeah, baby, we're doing that too. In the original game, the effect was pretty basic. They just disappear. But I wanted my version to be way more dramatic. First of all, they slowly turn black, then the body starts burning and fading away. Then I added some smoke, then only the bones and clothes remain, and also made them collapse to the ground and disappear as well.
Nice.
I also thought it would be fun to reference the original game by adding red orbs. But for my version, I tried something like a glowing liquid energy, kind of like blood, you know, popping out of the zombies when they die. Now it's time to add some slow motion. And you might think, oh, that's the easy part, just decrease the
Fucking epic. Oh, so awesome. So he's on the same level of the Asian guy that made the Dragon Ball animation called Legend of Dragon Ball Tale. I don't know. Fucking hell. Max! VikingNilsen TV. I have a reaction video of the first video. Also linked in that video is his first video. Okay, go check it out.
speed. Wrong! Blender doesn't do slow motion the traditional way. Just doesn't work like that. Even games from 25 years ago could do it easily. So I had to space the keyframes manually for every single animated object. Before you say anything, yeah, I tried plugins, it didn't work. Not to mention the rain, because in slow motion, it's not like some lines falling from the sky.
No,
it's like tiny
not.
little spheres.
Oof.
To make that, I figured out it's best to use a wobbling aquasphere driven by particle system. And after 3 weeks of work, I finally managed to make a slow
3 weeks! 3 weeks to get the rain going!
motion feel right. In the original game,
Well, the
there's
scene, holy shit!
the shot where the undead break the hatch and come for you. I wanted to make that too, as a little nod to the original. To break the chains, I didn't actually run heavy simulations. Instead, I used the same tricks the original game did. If you look closely, they actually reveal the chain explosion and at the same time hide the chain sealing the door. I tried doing the same, so I used rigid body for realistic physics, disable the chain sealing the door, and reveal the chain explosion I made earlier simultaneously, giving the illusion of zombies breaking the chains. I also made the zombies
That is fucking smart!
pose when they come up and added some lightning for extra evil vibes. You might think this is such a cool and epic shot, and you're right, but behind the scenes is a total mess. Like basically any of our shots, everything looks good only from camera. But if you look at the behind the scenes, yeah. Mainly because I had a very small space to stage this huge fight, so the characters always had to stay inside the borders. Stay tuned because next up we have Kratos versus the Hydra. For the final shot, I started with animating the Hydra emerging from water. I even made its ears shake using a noise modifier. I don't know, I thought it would be more interesting that way. The mouth looked too clean, so I added a plane, applied a slimy texture on it, and put it inside of its mouth to simulate some saliva. Then added some displacement, and animated it to move quickly as if it's reacting to the Hydra's breath. If this is not epic, I don't know what is. Next, I animated
Fucking awesome. Awesome.
Kratos launching high in the air heading straight for the Hydra. I even used particle system with a dust texture under his speed to simulate some smoke trails. It makes his jumping look way more epic. And with that, our final shot is finished and it was finally time to render, or so I thought. Sometimes it crashed mid-render, sometimes the render was glitching, sometimes I finished rendering only to realize it's noisy and unusable just because I forgot to check this stupid box, oh my god. These past 8 months were the hardest of my life. I regretted starting this project so many times, but the only thing that kept me going was my love for this project, for this game, and for my job as a YouTuber. I finally exported my renders as OpenEXR because it comes with all of these passes and gives you more artistic freedom and allows you to push your visuals even further. Then finally I throw them into DaVinci Resolve for some color grading and sound design. And after 7 months of modeling, animating, rendering, post-processing,
I mean, no fucking wonder it's been 9 months since the last video. This fucking takes ages. And this is just for one scene. Fuck. Hi, this guy to fix TFT. Next on!
backache. I'm sure you want to subscribe because there's even more exciting content coming. Enjoy the video.
Foul beast! I will send you back to the depths of Hades!
Let the rage of the gods drive your blades, Kratos.
Damn! Ah!
Again, huge thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to play it for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or mobile. Now by using our links in the pinned comments or video description. New and returning players who haven't played for 6 months will also receive a massive USA bonus pack with premium vehicles and even more goodies. Available on console and PC.
I mean, fucking epic. So epic. Like that of course, I like. I mean, Alifilmworx. Go check him out. Subscribe. I mean, damn. This just awesome. I mean, it like drops a video and 100 get subs. This is the best way months drops video. It gets sponsored. It's just, I mean, shit. Check this guy out. Support. That is just sweet as awesome.